election, we saw a lot of violators, including the ruling class. Even the former late President Muhammad Buhari voted in Daura, and he showed the world his ballot paper. We saw a similar thing play out with, I think, Senator Joseph Okalo. We see a lot of parties, violate those rules. You talk about issues of vote suppression, intimidation, and harassment. We saw it play out. We saw even local government chairman carrying talks, snatching ballot boxes. It play out in Kogi. Then you look at vote buying and influences. We saw it play out. Some of these things is what we pray that with the new chairman on board, whom many people have vowed to his integrity, to his outstanding leadership, we expect it to reflect, even though that is so solid. And again, we are also pushing for amendments to enable CSOs, not just electoral umpires or security agents, to enable them to institute actions. You understand? Whenever these laws are breached, because sometimes when you push reports, recommendations, and you expect parties that are supposed to take action, they are struggling to take action. It weakens the process. But by the time civil societies begin to carry out litigations, suing those that have been in violation to some of these laws, it will help our electoral system. So if people are beginning to accuse politicians of influencing or playing foul with regards to influencing the outcome of it, it's not far-fetched. It's a reality that we all know. And that is what we are working to see that we limit and improve upon.
All right. Well, it's been a very wonderful time. But before I let you go, I still have a few more questions that I'll need to ask you right now. The way it is in Anambra State, you're already on ground with your team. Now, how is the body language of the people? Because we have even the incumbent governor and other persons. As it is right now, what is the body language of the people? Do you see them as people who are ready to come out tomorrow en masse? Or
yes,
on Saturday,
yes. People are very energized, motivated, and prepared to, go to the field to, exercise their franchise, this privilege of observing the elections. And I'm very sure that, as they have always done, they will come out with excellent reports. Of course, when the reports are ready, or maybe even when we begin to, like tomorrow, we'll be issuing a pre-election release press statements, and then on election they will also give updates on what is going on. Of course, your station will be one of the first to receive our information as events progress. So we are motivated, we are prepared.
All right. Thank you very much, Comrade Kashi, all the way from Anambra State. And finally, before I let you go, what will be, this is general now to all Nigerians who are already saying their votes don't count. Apart from Anambra State, there are other places in Nigeria where PVCs are still lying in INEC offices. What would you say to Nigerians about picking their PVCs and being patriotic?
The vote actually counts. If vote does not count, you will not see people bringing those Maggi sugar, rice, or what have you, tomatoes to influence your vote. If your vote does not count, they will not be even giving you money or a form of vote selling and vote buying. You know, if your vote does not count. If your vote does not count, you will not see different parties, winning elections in areas that is expected to have a domination of ruling party. In the last general election, the report showed that APC won with 12 states, and the runners-up, which is PDP, 12 states, and of course, Labour Party also had 11 states plus LCT, which you can also place to the 12 states each. So if the result does not count, you not see that kind of results. I mean, if your vote does not count, you not see that kind of result where people that you think that are very popular are coming from, they are losing elections. So if result does not count, you not see smaller parties winning elections. So anybody tell you result does not count is either making you to stay back so that they will manipulate the process. The more you come out, the more we have a stake in this governance system.
Oh, all right. Thank you very much, Comrade Kachi O. Gerard. He is actually a right activist and a member of civil society organization, and as we speak, he's in Anambra State to monitor the off-cycle election happening on Saturday. We wish you all the best as you observe the election in Anambra State.
Thank you for having me. Thank you. God bless you.
All right. You're welcome. Well, this is going to be the size of the first conversation. What do we have to do as Nigerians? We should try as much as possible to give INEC the necessary support that we can give them. If you see something, say something. Be patriotic enough. Refuse to be used as a tug to sabotage the electoral process. INEC as an umpire cannot do it all without the assistance of the actors and stakeholders which you are part of. The next conversation continues after this break. Stay with us.
Global Morning is your top morning show here on Global Television.
We bring you fresh news updates daily while delving into a variety of current affairs and topics.
And at the same time, keeping you well informed about important events, both national and internationals.
Global Morning serves as a valuable source of information, helping viewers like you start your day well informed.
Stay connected from Monday through Sunday to a wide range of latest news making rounds on Global Morning.
We're on the road to protest.
And the president meets all of our demands.
This is Global Morning.
top morning show here on Global Television.
We bring you fresh news updates daily while delving into a variety of current affairs and topics.
And at the same time, keeping you well informed about important events, both national and international.
Global Morning serves as a valuable source of information, helping viewers like you start your day well informed.
Stay connected from Monday through Sunday to a wide range of latest news making rounds on Global Morning.
We're on the road to protest.
And the president meets all of our demands.
This is Global Morning.
All right, so time to get talking about one of the biggest issues in the world right now, or at least definitely the biggest concern in Nigeria, which is the threat of military intervention by President Trump of the United States, saying that Nigeria has failed, that's by his own assessment, in dealing or tackling the issue of insurgency and insecurity overall in the country. And then he says that it is Christians who are most affected by this phenomenon, which of course the Nigerian government has refuted the last couple of days. We've seen statements after statements in that regard. Just yesterday, we saw even ministers took turns to also denounce that position, saying that, yes, while on the one hand there is insecurity in the country, on the other hand, it affects everyone, cutting across religion. There's no targeting of a particular religion as it stands right now. But beyond all of this noise, the question is, what is the worst that can happen under this circumstance? And in any case, how is the Nigerian government officially, especially from the standpoint of the president, who is the commander-in-chief of the armed forces of the Federal Republic, responding to this, and how is that response changing the narrative in this regard? I'm joined by a public policy consultant, Emmanuel Ozoemena, to help us make sense of these developments. Emmanuel, it's a pleasure to have you on the program.
Yeah, good morning, and good morning, viewers.
Let's start, first of all, by asking ourselves, for those who have said this is politically motivated by the U.S. government under the leadership of President Trump, how much of politics we have in this? Because there's the concern that this could be another Iraq right in front of us in Nigeria. What's your position?
What is politics? Politics is decision-making, policy. I mean, whether you're taking a decision at a national level, international level, family level, community level. So if somebody says it's politics, for me, that's begging the question. The point is that, do we have a crisis at hand? Are there fundamental questions around security of lives and property across Nigeria? I mean, are we battling a security challenge, insurgency, banditry, insurrections, and all kinds of whatever? Is it really a big issue? The answer is yes. So the issue of politics, for me, it's like we say in logic, you try to look for deflection. For me, it's mere deflection, which does not answer the question.
The U.S. authorities are now banding numbers as to how many persons have been killed on account of this insurgency in the northern part of the country, number of churches burned, vehicles, and what have you. Does Nigerian government, as of this point, have numbers to counter this position of the United States?
Yeah, well, from the first tweet, or from the first social media post of President Donald J. Trump on his platform, the Truth Social, I mean, we saw it last Friday. He dropped it and said, look, this is a situation. And he raised fundamental issues. And there was ripples across the country, across the world. There was reaction. And the U.S. is saying, look, 51,000 Christians killed, since 2009, 18,000 churches burnt, 2,000 church-owned schools burnt. But the reaction from, or what you may call reporters from Nigerian government hasn't given us any number. The simple thing we heard was that, oh, Muslims are also dying. It's farmers' herders clash, though some part are insecurity. There's also another part around struggle for resource and all kinds of thing. And then the other Nigerians who are on the street are now talking about Dangote refinery, coming over to take mineral resource and all that. All kinds of, things being thrown in the public space for discussion. But I think the fundamental thing is the Nigerian government has not put down a number and say, this is the number of casualties, whether Christians or Muslims, or number of schools, or number of churches, or number of businesses affected, or even the economic implication in terms of saying, look, we've lost XYZ amount of money as a result of this crisis. None has been there. The modern world is driven by data. Data is important because when you put data, put number, you can crunch it and then try to disaggregate it and say, look, how many women are affected, how many children, how many elderly, but none of this had come. But I think the US seems to have done more work in terms of data collection, in terms of crunching the numbers, in terms of trying to use data to now look at the scale of the problem than we have done. I'm sure I can tell you we've not done better.
Incidentally, countries like China, for example, was saying even countries, in fact, the European Union are all throwing their weight behind Nigeria, saying that there's no such targeting in the country. Does President Trump's position still hold much in that regard?
Well, what to do is, we don't have a bipolar world at the moment. It's more of a unipolar. Unipolar in the sense that United States, in fact, there's nobody to talk to them, as it is. So you have a single policeman of the world. Since the end of the Cold War, you used to have Russia or the former Soviet Union on one side, and the United States, you have what they call East and West. But it has collapsed. So now you have one big behemoth, the United States of America. So if you ask me, it doesn't really matter what EU thinks or what China thinks. Ask me why. China, for instance, their biggest market is the United States. When it comes to number, when it comes to GDP, when it comes to trade relations, volume of trade. What's the volume of trade between Nigeria and China? Obviously, United States should be 1,000 miles away.
So you're saying when it's all said and done, there's no way the Chinese authorities will throw the US market?
Okay, let me give you a typical example.
Right.
US went to bomb the nuclear site in Iran.
Right.
Did anybody stop them? Nobody. Even though Iran is an ally of China. Could China do anything? China is even battling at home within the Chinese Strait, within the Pacific Strait. You have South Korea, you have India, and then you have North Korea aligning with China and Russia, and you have India and South Korea on the other part. United States have a military base in South Korea. It's been there several years. They have in Philippines. So look at the entire Asian region. You could check the number of military bases the US has. So, and that's a demonstration of influence, a demonstration of power, a demonstration of leverage. So, what I'm saying essentially is this. It will be foolhardy on the part of Nigeria to say, oh, China will come and save us, or EU will come and save us. At the moment, for instance, as a result of the China or the Russian-Ukraine war, the supply of gas to Europe, apart from France, Germany, and I think one other country that say we are not going to cut off trade with Russia because of proximity. We buy gas from them. The rest are dependent on the United States for gas as we speak. So I'm talking of EU. So they wouldn't want to get US angry. The entire NATO alliance is still largely funded by the United States. So it's to understand, say, in this conversation, in this engagement, what leverage do I have? And how do I approach it? If you listen to seasoned diplomats, they say, look, including former Minister of Foreign Affairs, Professor Bolaji Akeyemi, incidentally, he's a professor of international relations. He said, look, President Tinubu should tread cautiously in managing this engagement. It's easier to listen to court jesters around talking about, oh, we are ready for war, we'll do this. They won't be there when the chips are down, which is more important. So the leverage United States has at the moment, I mean, there's nothing that can counter it.
I want to ask you something in terms of Nigeria's response. We see that the leadership of the defense and intelligence is now a bit more, if you like, forthcoming, talking about successes recorded the last few days. We're saying, for example, the news now telling us, even this morning, that President Bola Tinubu is likely going to announce ambassadorial appointments in the days ahead. And then we've also heard speculations about how that there's likely going to be, again, I say this advisedly, likely going to be a meeting between President Tinubu and U.S. President Donald Trump. Is this far-reaching enough, or we are still scratching the surface at this point?
The point is this. If you remember, I was on your program on the, I think, 3rd of September. On your program, I was your guest. And we talked about foreign investment. I said you can't have foreign investment if you don't have substantive ambassadors at the missions. Nigeria has 109 missions and embassies across the world. Let me break it down. There are 76 embassies, there are 22 high commissions and 11 consulates across the world. So 109. I mean, none of them has a substantive ambassador. And I said, look, the moment you don't have this in place, it means you're not playing at that level. Because you're talking about political leadership. And what is political leadership? Nobody wants to talk to a consular general, a consular officer. I mean, what? Because he doesn't have that political leverage. Say, for instance, in this altercation between the US and Nigeria, there are obvious lapses I can point out now. For instance, in the US, Trump has tweeted twice. He has made social media posts, 3 times as at this morning. Because he did a video earlier this morning. So 3 times. His press secretary has spoken once on this issue. And then the Secretary of War, Pete Hegseth, has spoken once. I mean, has just responded to the president's tweets. To the social, to the Truth Social post of Trump. Say, get ready, we would be taking military action. Say, yes, sir. Saying, Commander-in-Chief, we are ready. But on the part of Nigeria, presidential spokesperson, several of them, and there's no coordination
amongst them.
Yeah, I mean, information coordination. What I think should happen at this level, and if you look, there's no other top government official in the US who is speaking, apart from Chief Press Secretary, who has spoken once. I mean, there was a question thrown to him, and then the White House Press Secretary, Secretary of War, who was responding to the Commander-in-Chief of the United States, and then the President. But here you have everybody's multiple spokespersons. Now, it's also important for us to realize that what the United States is doing is not to collect. They're not doing opinion polls. That's not what they're doing. They have told you this is our position. So what you should do on our part is to, at top level, is to articulate position and then get a spokesperson. In this case, it should be the President of Federal Republic of Nigeria speaking. Because you see the two presidents speaking to each other. There was something that happened very, very interesting. In fact, I have deep respect. My respect for the Senate president has gone a bit top notch. He said, look, who am I to speak to the president of the United States? Definitely, they are not on the same level. But he could speak to perhaps the majority leader of the US Senate or the speaker of the House of Representatives, who is the leader of the Congress. He's a congressman. I mean, Godswill Akpabio is a congressman. So he said, these are my equals. I can't be speaking.
So the issue of Trump is above his pay grade.
Now here you see ministers, FCT, aviation and all that. For me, I'm asking, is that their remit? The answer is no. Definitely not their remit. So what I think presidential spokesperson should be doing, articulate talking points.
For the president.
For the president that speaks to the issues. In fact, I even listened to the Minister of Foreign Affairs. He was somewhere in Germany at an event. I mean, raising a document. That's not the issue. Oh, I'm going to give it to you. I looked at it. I said, no, you speak to issues, not handing over a document. What is in that document? I don't know. Can I find that document on the Ministry of Foreign Affairs website? I mean, the index, every year, the United States have this report on freedom of religion report across the world. It's been running for several years. And if you read through it, I mean, they have raised the issue about Baha'i faith persecution in India, the persecution of Muslims in China, the persecutions of Muslims in Russia.
Right.
So what people have, even the Nigerian authorities hadn't, I'm not sure anybody in government had sat down to pick up this document and go through and say, what is in it? How should we respond? Ted Cruz, for instance, has a bill in the US Congress on this issue. It's on the website of the United States Congress. How many people have taken it to look at it line by line and respond to it?
Including legislators themselves.
Because I read philosophy, I read logic. So what to do in responding, what is the proposition of the man on the other side? Each of them, you respond proposition to proposition. But what I've seen is deflection. I've been trying to, like when I heard the theory about Dangote, what a trash. Is that nonsense? Ask me how. In the United States oil production daily is 14 million
barrels
per day. And we're doing 1.2, struggling with 1.2 on a daily basis.
With the targets to hit 3 million.
Yes, but they're already doing 14 million. They have a large reserve. After Venezuela, they are the second in terms of oil reserve. Nigeria is about 9th in oil, I think in gas about 10th or so. So the ratings are, these are data. So, they are coming to take minerals. Their rare earth minerals are all over the world. And US, given their leverage, can get it anywhere they want. They can negotiate with any country. Those are not the issue. The issue is, do we have a security challenge? So what are we doing to address it? If we need help, can we call for help? As we speak now, I'm aware there's help already. There's a lot of international support around counter-insurgency engagement. The EU, the UK government, the United States, they're all here supporting. But what they're saying, look, if you need help, call for help. I mean, the other one, they are coming to invade Nigeria. That's not true. If you read through that line, he's saying, we are coming to take out the terrorists. These things are written in black and white, in simple English, not Arabic, not Latin. So what I'm saying essentially is, Nigeria should have, the people I mean, the aides of the president, instead of talking, which I think they shouldn't be doing, because it's not an opinion pool engagement, it's not a survey, it's strategic engagement. The least you can have apart from the president should be the Minister of Foreign Affairs, because it's within the diplomatic purview. It's his remit.
Right.
Not spokesperson, not aviation, not FCT, not any other culture and what have you. It's not their remit. But when people don't understand their remit, I mean, what you're going to get is a confusion. You don't have a coordinated strategic communications. I'm not saying it.
We're going to take a quick break now. When we return, we need to talk about a couple of other things, including, for instance, what should be the response of regional bodies at this point, say ECOWAS, say African Union, and worst case scenario, if we're going to have military intervention in this regard. All of that coming after this break. Please do stay with us. Global Morning is your top morning show here on Global Television.
We bring you fresh news updates daily while delving into a variety of current affairs and topics.
And at the same time, keeping you well informed about important events, both national and international.
Global Morning serves as a valuable source of information, helping viewers like you start your day well informed.
Stay connected from Monday through Sunday to a wide range of latest news making rounds on Global Morning.
We're on the road to protest.
And the president meets all of our demands.